I thought that was gonna be the longer run.
I thought that was gonna be the countdown.
Yeah, give me a.
It didn't count down.
Yeah, that was the longer one. Well, here we are. It was launched straight into it. We did have one that was like a full 30-second countdown.
It's nice with like.
That was just we're right in it.
Music, yeah.
I don't have it saved in there. Whatever. We're
so it goes. Here we are.
Flying by the seat of our pants episode.
We pulled this live stream together like an hour and a half ago. It's been a very long day for me.
Very long.
I was up at like 3:45 a.m. or something. I was messaging with Levi, and he's like, "Oh, you want to do a live stream?" And I'm like, "No," because on our end, no one's gonna watch at that time because most of our people are East Coast and
they have jobs and they get up early and
Well, hey, I was one of those people with a job getting up early, and it was my last day at this job, so I stayed at the job, which is like kind of in our backyard. It's a long story.
It's a long story.
And
very
I was
close
there
commute.
till I was there till 7:30. It was my last day. Those guys wanted to have a couple of drinks and whatnot.
Oh my god.
And I had some waters and dinner since, so I'm good to go.
Yep.
And I'm running on fumes here at 9:30 Eastern time. So what a day. I've been up for what? 15 hours now?
Very long.
Which isn't that, I mean, whatever.
If you've got up at 3:30, then you've been up for like.
It's now 9:30.
Oh, if it's 9:30, 3:30. So you were up 3:30 your time. At 9:30.
Yes.
One of those hours. You know what? Yeah. You've been up for a long time.
We're not here to do math. So
look,
enough about me. How's it going with you guys?
The math is always insane. So okay.
I took notes. I just watched the episode and I took notes.
You watched it again? Jamie was like, "You want to watch it again?" And I was like, "We watched Convoy Call highlights instead."
Yeah, because
Jamie was like, "Oh, I was in the chat," and Levi was in the chat, and we had to see that. So.
Yeah, I was laughing at it because we were messaging them tweeting at them the other day when they were actually on Batu. So we were talking to them like through Twitter, and we were telling them about the Batu bathrooms. And so like the story behind the Batu bathrooms. So full context, everyone knows this. AJ and I have not been to Batu. But we know a lot of people who have, obviously, through the Star Wars community. So our friend Ryan, who's been on the podcast a few times, told us about the fact that the best place to hear the radio station on Batu is in the bathroom. And it's in one of our it's in one of our podcasts. I'll have to pull up which episode it is, but he gives the full story of one time his friends literally thought that they lost him, but he was just in the bathroom for a half hour just listening to the radio station because it was the best place you could hear it. So it's my favorite fun fact. I only learned of this because it's in the Batu Traveler's Guide, the little book, which I don't have behind me. Half the time it's sitting behind me, but it's not there anymore. It might be behind you actually, AJ. But it's in that book, and it's literally BSO 41.72 Black Spire Outpost Radio, and it's like it exists, and it's my favorite piece of lore about Black Spire Outpost. And Convoy Call, our friends at KRT actually like talked about it, and I'm like.
The bathrooms
look at that.
It's a canon nebulous zone in those bathrooms because there's some things scroll on the walls that store groups like, it's just stuff on the walls. We don't know.
And apparently there's a Dianoga like in the toilet.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
that's terrifying, but I love it.
Yeah, I think it's like Mara Jade. I think is written on one of the stalls.
That's so really? Fun.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a joke then. Okay, because I saw something the other day about Mara Jade's canned in the toilet, and I was like, wait, is that a bad thing?
No, it's real. Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying like the bathroom at Galaxy's Edge. It's nebulous. It's a canon. It's a canon adjacent zone. When you walk into the bathroom, it's a whole other world.
I love it.
Clear and you don't know what's going on.
Shout out to Captain Marvel, Jamie, because of your
my 9 Inch Nails t-shirt. Yeah. I don't. Shirt. Yeah, so it's the star from her like uniform, but the 9 Inch Nails like logo because like that's what she wears when she's like the grunge look with the leather jacket, which is the only Carol Danvers cosplay I have because it's normal clothes.
Yeah,
right.
One day we'll do the full thing, but that's another thing.
So
we like things other than Star Wars. Well, let's talk about the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Replacements.
Yeah. How are those? What's first on those notes? Let's hear it.
Gonky is the best.
Gonky.
All right.
Yes.
That's the stream.
Okay, that's the stream.
It's the best.
rolling into that though, just in case you guys didn't read the comments so far, will be very spoiler heavy for episode 3 of the Bad Batch, and obviously 1 and 2 since they've already been out for about a week or so. But yes, very spoiler heavy for episode 3. That being said, Gonki, the first scene we see of Omega just laying there on her iPad like a little kid, like, I just loved it so much because she's sitting there chilling like a little kid with like her pet behind her with Gonki just like chilling. Gonki's feet are like slightly moving.
Gonki and I'm Gonk's different. Gonki Gonk's different.
Yeah. And then like everything about like literally the entire Bachelor also cares about Gonki though. It's so funny because like Gonki's like flying around as they're doing the crash landing, and the first thing Hunter does, he asks Omega if she's okay. But the first thing he does is he puts Gonki back up. And it's just like, this man destroyed.
And we have official Gonki merchandise. Like Gonki's in the Lego set.
I know.
Gonki's in there.
$100 for Gonki.
Gonki. There's real Gonki's out there.
It's so funny because like I thought it was weird that they included Gonki in the first place, because like I thought it would just be from like, you know, season 7 when Wrecker's just like lifting him in the air, and then he does it again in this season. But like Gonki is really becoming a character, and I have a serious question for both of you. Who do you think named Gonki?
Wrecker.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the only answer. I would accept Wrecker or Tech just to be funny. So, like...
well, they haven't
Isn't it
called
obvious?
him Gonki
exactly.
officially.
No, they haven't. They had never actually addressed the droid at all. It's just always been a background piece, but it's becoming more of a visual thing. That's something that we like talked about with Michael on when he came on our podcast. It's just the visual gags alone are like fantastic in this show. But I've like been talking the entire time so far, so you guys chat.
No, it's fine.
It's
what was
this
I
problem.
Say?
That's why
I didn't know you had that going.
Anyways, I didn't finish it, so yeah.
So it's that kind of stream.
It's that kind of stream, yeah. I opened it, so it's celebrating your last day. That's what it is.
A funny non-Bad Batch thing that I sent to Matt, who couldn't make the thing. So the Star Wars like daily calendar thing. So the daily fact, it's Ajon Kloss, however you want to pronounce it, and it's Leia took Ajon Kloss. Leia took Luke Skywalker to the planet of Ajon Kloss, an Alderaanian royal family base, to train his first group of Jedi.
And they train there in the they train there in the movie too. Like it's where
my camera broke.
Oops.
That's where where Luke is training Leia in the flashback.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
but
that's the whole training course.
Group of Jedi. So who's the group? Is this like his first group of Jedi Grogu?
Is that the temple?
People? No, that
like
can't be the temple.
Are we sure though?
Because maybe with Ben is the second group of Jedi.
That's okay. Look at me, like literally looking at the visual dictionary, right?
I can pull out Ultimate Star Wars.
Wait. At Leia Organa's suggestion, Ajon Kloss did serve as a secluded outpost in the year after the Battle of Endor, became a training ground for Luke Skywalker and his first Jedi apprentice.
Which is
Leia.
Which is Leia.
But it was just weird how the calendar worded it, and I guess we're not going to trust the calendar completely. But
that's literally copy and pasted out of this, though. So
his first group is more than one of Jedi.
That is. So Leia and Grogu. Imagine Leia and Grogu like training at the same time.
No, Leia's done by then. So.
But you don't know like if she had like training during the time though. Like maybe she was training with others during that little bit.
I know because she. Well, firstly, do you want me to get Dylan in here? I think Dylan can hop in if you.
Yeah, bring him in. Bring him in.
You got the info.
Yeah. So. Anyway, no, Leia, right? Because she's training within the first year after Endor. Because Ben's a Endor baby. We know that. So like, she's training in that first. Because I think this is we get a little bit hints of it in like Aftermath, and it's mentioned in Bloodline. Like I'm pretty sure it's in that visual dictionary. Like it's all within the first year after Endor that she trains and then stops after Ben, because she feels Ben. That's like not going to go well for my son. But Grogu is like 5 years after that, so I don't think she'd still be training.
Right.
Okay. Right. I just got really excited, like getting that visual of Leia and then Grogu. So
it would be cool.
So, do we believe the calendar? Is the calendar's the newest canon? So
new.
Is that how it works?
Calendar canon.
I
guess. I made a really bad joke to my boss today about Google. So like we were looking at a Google webpage that looked like it was from 2002. And so she says, hey, this Google page looks like it's from 2002. And I'm like, oh shit, what did I say?
Hey,
I
Levi
said,
wasn't even born yet.
Really bad.
That's not true. That's not true.
What are you, a 99 baby?
I was alive.
I'm not gonna finish. I'm not finishing my joke. I'm just gonna have Dylan jump in.
I'm sorry. So StreamYard's a bit jarring for me. I didn't know it just threw you in like that. So
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing.
Sorry, I saw you. I saw you pop in right away, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah. How we doing today?
Farm Boy's in the chat. How's it going, Farm Boy?
We're good.
Late night for you, Farm Boy. But
late night, Friday night. Friday night. Okay, what have we got over so far?
We talked about the
I want to hear this Google joke.
Oh, the Google joke. So yeah, this webpage looks like it's from she's like, this Google webpage looks like it's from 2002, and I'm like, oh, so it's 2002 Google.
Nice.
All right.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave.
Yeah.
It's this kind of.
Right. She literally, this is my first week at this job. She was literally like, she started laughing hysterically, and it was just like, Jamie, you're fired. And then she's like, no, I'm kidding. But like, we have like that kind of rapport. So it's definitely, she did. It's that kind of like, it's a good job though. So like, I'm excited about it. But anyway, here I am making really bad dad jokes at my new job, and now you all know 2002 Google. So
2002 Google.
So were you guys born in 2002?
From 2001.
2001 gang.
Oh,
2001 gang.
That's so crazy.
Probably so young to you.
Obviously, you're a Patriots fan.
Of course.
And you were born.
Disgusting.
You were born the year Tom Brady was starting. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I was like in kindergarten. No, I was in second grade. So
yeah, second grade.
Second grade. It's not like I'm that much older, but still.
Crazy stuff, guys. It's crazy stuff.
So what are you? 20
flat. Yeah.
Okay, so baby.
I saw Jamie over there with the brewski, but
yeah. Oh no, the underdogs, whatever they call themselves.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You guys won once, big deal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
I respect it.
Wear that in Boston, Levi. You come visit.
Yeah, wear that over here in August.
Just had to,
it'll be very hot out.
Set the record straight, okay?
Be very hot in August. All right, let's get back on track. So, are we all in agreement? Gonky?
Oh, Gonky's top tier. He's like slowly shooting on my top 10.
Yeah, S tier character.
Best character in the Bad Batch? Gonky? And then Omega. No, I'm kidding. Maybe? I don't know. But really.
I mean, why not?
What was that?
It was a... Yeah,
I heard that like 3 times on here, over in the hall, and yeah.
AJ is literally down the hall right now. If I like walked like 3 steps down the hall, I'd be like, hey.
So I have one huge thing to bring up about this episode.
Do it.
What's going on with Wrecker's head?
It's a chip. It's his chip.
It is his chip. It's so weird though, because he's like, "Oh, my head! I must have hit it when we landed." And it's like,
I have a
theory. Holding it the whole time.
When I watched it back, he did hit his head, but he hit it right where the chip is. So he might have like made it malfunction or made it start working again, I guess, when he hit it.
So yeah,
and then Tech is working on like what's he working on?
He's like a headband like device type thing to like analyze the chips and like figure out what he can do. So like the groundwork is there for them to literally be like, okay, someone is gonna have a malfunctioning chip that's like really bad malfunction, and they have to take action, and they will be able to fix it. But literally the groundwork is there with Tech's headband, and then also my favorite little behind the scenes gag in season 2 is Wrecker straight up hits his head in episode 2.
Maybe
like while he's walking through, so it's like little foreshadowing of he's gonna hit his head again, but like no one like notices. It was like on his forehead though, so it didn't make.
I think it's genetic though, right? Because all the Django clones hit their heads.
Yeah, all the time, right?
Isn't that the whole thing that because Django hit his head a bunch, that the whole clone army is just really clumsy.
And so does Kaz from Resistance.
Oh my gosh!
Matt sent me like a book,
heads. And so does that stormtrooper in the background in A New Hope.
There you go.
Exactly.
We
reference. It all ties together.
Thanks.
Also in episode 2 though. In episode 2 as well, though, like remember when they're walking up to Cut's farm, Wrecker triggers the trap, and then all the battle droids pop up around him, and he's straight up so confused that he was the one that triggered that trap. It's literally like he didn't even know that it happened, because he's very concerned in the way he says, "Was that me? Was that me?" He's very, very confused, and it's like he didn't know he did it. So it's already like he's kind of losing control of his actions, and that was what happened in last episode. And so in this one, now that he has this massive headache and doesn't know what's actually going on, they really need to keep a close eye on him. And obviously it was the best move to leave him on the ship, and he had nothing to do, so he made the little bunk for Omega. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
that was great.
But yeah, I'm very concerned for Wrecker. I'm very concerned that he is just straight up going to snap, and no one is going to know what to do or how to deal with it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's the big guy.
I think it'll be it'll be one of those things where it'll be an episode where he's just like going nuts. He's in beast mode, and they have to just like they'll solve it by the end, but it'll just be a mess of an episode. And he'll be like, "What happened?" And then he'll hug Lula. So
because
there you go.
I think it's going to create precedent for them to try it on Crosshair, and I think it's going to fail. I think it's real sad.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Kevin Owens are messing with Crosshair's brain in a whole
different way.
Right.
Wrecker doesn't have any control, but then you think about Crosshair. Crosshair has nothing but control, which is like what he needs as a sniper, and so like that's why it pretty much worked for him in cranking up like the enhancements like that far and making sure that everything is followed to a T. With Wrecker, he's just out there to literally smash things, and like if you crank that up all the way, you're not going to have like any mental power to think about anything else except just smash things and destroy things. So like I'm really worried it'll get to like the point of like no return for him, and like I hope that they're able to catch it before something actually does happen to him.
Yeah. Speaking of Crosshair, a part I really liked in this episode, which I thought could have been in episode 2, but I'm glad it's here, is when they actually kind of had an emotional moment there, just like about their brother leaving. Like Wrecker was like, "All right, I'm gonna say it. You know what? I miss him. You know." Yeah. And then Tex says something like, "Well, we should maybe consider that this isn't really his fault. You know." And so I just thought that was because like you can excuse it. Like we've talked about this over in the all new nerds space, but it's just like, they're soldiers. Like it's just, this happens, people die, people leave. But I don't know. I thought that kind of emotional brotherly moment was needed.
Yeah, speaking of that moment, Echo has been so sassy this whole show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
like
so sassy.
The man is ornery, I would say. He is always just like on edge, and like literally the lights are going off and the ship's about to fall out of hyperspace, and Hunter's like, "Echo, you gotta check this out." And he's just like eating his stick, like
he's like, "I wish I could."
List, dude. And he just sits down, and I was like, "Okay, Echo, jeez."
Like he literally like does not care almost at this point, and it's like it's so weird to see it at this point, but he doesn't, because he still is finding himself within the crew, and he wishes he was somewhere else. He wishes he was back with like Rex and whatnot. So like and he knows that he really shouldn't be there at that point in time. So. It's you
it's
just crazy
that.
To see
we're gonna get the Echo development when Rex is on screen.
Yeah. That's what's really gonna flush it out, because like Rex was there from almost the beginning with them, but he was there from like at least like the inception of like him joining the 501st. So like
from the Rishi Moon,
right? Yeah. So like all of that. So like
Rex may have been there.
Let's go back to the Rishi Moon and rediscover ourselves. What if like Rex like literally does that? He's like, "You know what, Echo? We gotta go find you again. Let's just go back and let's just go kill another one of those like space slugs that's like out there." And we'll
yeah, I was just gonna say they're gonna get eaten by those space worms or whatever. Didn't they eat heavy, or is that someone else?
Cut up.
They cut up.
Yeah.
And then R.I.P.
Rex just
so sad.
pops it in the eye.
The one shot.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed Tech and Echo have kind of been like, I don't know, they're kind of hanging out a lot together. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I ship Techo now.
I saw that on the AllNewNerds account.
It was like completely a joke, but I just like the way it.
Yeah, some people were like, some people were like,
yes,
what?
Yeah. Some guy was like, "What, dude? No!" And I was like, "I know."
That's what I learned.
Just throwing it out there.
I always forget about shipping until like someone literally brings it up on conversation, and that's when I learned that Techo is that ship name. That might be my favorite ship name ever.
Techo.
Well, there's also Recco.
Oh no!
Recco.
Yeah, so that's one that I almost tweeted that one, but I was like, you know what?
I think Techo's better.
You guys can do a poll.
Techo
Techo or Recco?
Yeah, Techo, Recco, Hecko, and Omega. No.
No.
God, no. No. That's off the table.
Yeah.
Throw Gonki into the mix though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Gecko. Gonko.
Gonko.
Okay, wait.
Okay. Wow, that took a wide turn. Let's talk about the violence in this episode, shall we? Since we are all choosing violence right now.
War crimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So kids show, maybe not.
That dark really quick. Whew.
Yeah.
Really, really quick.
Quite. Well, it's War Mantle. It's Project War Mantle, which we know from Rogue One.
Yeah. Explain. Do we know anything about that? Because like the moment they said it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds really familiar," but like I'm not 100 on the lore.
sequence where Jin is like going through the Scarif data vault, where you hear like hyperspace tracking, and then she starts listing off like the different project names, and one of them is she's like, Pax Aurora, Mark Omega. One of them's a War Mantle, and I think it's just a pretty literal interpretation of like who the mantle of who is waging war. Like, it is on clones right now, and they're trying to change it to conscripts. Like, it's the war mantle, like who the mantle of responsibility of who actually fights is the whole purpose of this project, and like changing that. So I think it's just the transition between. Some people have theorized that it's like the Death Trooper program, because Crosshair and the black suits, and they're like maybe Death Troopers. Yeah. But I think it's just more in general moving from clones to
just the whole transition of it. So essentially, Rampart's project will be War Mantle, is what that like big code name is what the big thought is here.
Yeah, War Mantle project.
Yeah, that was
cool.
I've loved the like, it's always kind of been a question. It's like, well, why did the Empire stop using clones? Like, they're obviously better. And like, I really like how they keep doubling down on like, no, they're too expensive. We don't really need an army. Like, there's no one really trying to fight us. And just, I don't know. I feel like it was much needed, and Bad Batch, perfect spot to do it. So why not?
Yeah, you mentioned down on it. The ranks in this episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm dying. Talk about that. I'm dying over here.
Before we dive into it, so
losing it.
So to sum up with the ranks, because before we even get into it, because I actually don't think there's an issue, and I'll tell you why. So Tarkin apparently is already a Grand Moff based on his rank badge.
Governor.
But Governor and Grand Moff are the same exact rank badge.
And they use them interchangeably in like A New Hope. Like, they call these Grand Moff Tarkin and that, but everyone calls him Governor. And he's
so it's interchangeably there. So it's a little confusing. And then recently, I was just watching another stream. I was watching Convor Call, and I'm on KRT and whatnot, and they were talking about how in the Tarkin book, I haven't read it personally, but Tarkin, that novel, which is a canon novel from 2014, takes place 5 years. Yeah, 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, and that's when Tarkin gets his title. So, what? That's the big question right now: is what is the truth?
Retcon.
I didn't even mean just that. Like, I meant like the whole. Because at first Hasbro named the Rampart figure Vice Admiral Rampart, but he has the Admiral plaque, and I was like, what's the deal with that? You got it wrong, Hasbro. But now in this episode, he gets promoted to Admiral, but the figure's still called Vice Admiral.
So he'll get another promotion?
No, he already got promoted. He was already Vice Admiral, and now he's just a full Admiral.
I don't know how the ranks go. All I know is once you're a Moff, it's pretty high.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Vice Admiral's below Admiral.
Moff.
How deep do we think Rampart
It's like Kira, the Vice, what is it? Like the Chief Vice Executive of Trade Route Allocation and Monetization. Remember her? Like when Kira gets off the
some long title
to the regional manager.
Essentially, yeah.
I think that this will be the last time we see Tarkin, honestly, and I think that for any Imperials, we'll just see Rampart from here on out in the series. Maybe like a hologram or something with Tarkin, but I don't think he's gonna show up again, really.
I was thinking Tarkin might pull what he did on Krennic with the Death Star with this, and he's just like, yeah, this is mine now. So good job,
he probably
good work.
Exactly.
Yeah. If he shows bring it up with Vader, I guess.
Someone made a decision to make 2 separate Tarkin models with different rank plaques from episode to episode. And like, why even do that? Like, it's just such
Wait, are they different in the episodes?
Yeah, that's why that's what we brought it up. In the first one, he has the Admiral rank plaque, which is what you see in Revenge of the Sith, what you see in the end of Clone Wars, what we have known Tarkin to be in the beginning of the Empire for so long. And then in the next episode, he's got the Governor one. It's like,
what if
you made that?
He's just changing it around, a different outfit, different day.
I was just gonna say, what if he's just like swapping it out and he's pretending to be a higher rank when he's around people who don't necessarily know,
or he got promoted in between.
I like Ross was talking about on the Convor calls. Like, he still is technically a governor of Iriadu at that point, which is his home planet. So maybe he would. Maybe he was just like trying it out. I don't know. I think if you're right, if we just never see Tarkin again, then it's just like, who cares? It doesn't really matter. It's just a weird thing. Rank plaques. Matt Martin tweeted this out. Like, the rank plaques have never made any sense in the movies or in the shows. Like, in Return of the Jedi, Moff Jar Jar has the Commander one. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. He's a Moff. He's got like little 3 little guy, and he's a Moff.
Like,
so
I guarantee you as well, the average viewer does not know what that means.
No.
Yeah, just looks like a little gum pack or something.
Yeah, just a bunch of chiclets on your chest. That's it.
Palpatine just has a bucket of a bunch of them. He's just like, take one.
Yes.
A pack of chiclets.
Bunch of chiclets. That's all it is.
What one of my like big takeaways from the episode was Tarkin and the new officer there. What's his name again?
Rampart.
They're on like the little hallway bridge thing, and they're looking at the cafeteria, and they're like, "Oh, well, Jango's DNA is breaking down finally," which is really a cool detail. And they're like, "Oh, who's going to be the next clone that we kind of?"
That wasn't Rampart and Tarkin. That was Nala Se.
That was Nala Se and Lama
Oh,
Su.
okay. So I would totally see that's me having a 16-hour awake day here so far. But
was it a man and a Kaminoan? Was it 2 Kaminoans? Was it a clone and a Kaminoan?
2 Kaminoans
I don't
know. Into a bar. So, yeah, they're talking about their next clone that they'll work on. So, where do you think that'll go?
See, I got this all worked out. I too was confused because I had to rewatch it to clarify and listen to other people talk about it for it to make sense in my head. Because when I first listened to it, because in Legends the way it is like they clone other people as the Empire goes on, and there's like multiple clones, and there's like recruits and other clone donors and Jango clones still all in the mix, and that's the whole thing. And there's a whole thing in Legends. And so I was like, oh, are they talking about that? Are they trying to get like Boba's DNA, like because he's an OG clone, to like make more clones? Is that what they're talking about? But upon re-listening to it, like they say, Lama Su says to Nala Se, your experiment has to yield like a genetically modified clone that's superior for us to stay relevant. So like we're gonna move to the next phase. And she says the required clones for that experiment aren't gonna come back willingly, referring to the Bad Batch.
Right.
And then Lama Su responds, well, we only need one. I think we only need the one, and I think that's Omega. I think Omega some special DNA something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're definitely playing into like Omega can adapt to their abilities or can somehow get their abilities, and we've seen it in every episode, and even in this one, she literally at one point she's like, "I track just like I learned from you," and she learned to track in like a matter of like 30 seconds. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that. I'm just excited to see her get Wrecker's abilities and see how that plays out.
Omega Rage.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she'll be lifting the Gonk droid up.
And last episode, Cut does say the Kaminoans don't create without purpose. So I think that Omega has got some like mega DNA in her. The Omega DNA.
Omega.
Yes.
Omega.
And so Omega, yeah. And so they're using her to create a new breed of superior clones.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna try to.
Which makes sense. I mean, like, I think that would be like an ideal type of clone, is someone who can pick up other people's abilities really quickly and just like adapt to pretty much any situation. Because that's what it's seeming like Omega's abilities are, based on
a jack of all trades.
Based of all of this so far. Because like you said, she tracks immediately after Hunter, just looks at some dirt, and she's like, "Oh, is this more than just looking at dirt? Okay, I can do this." And so like she like figures out how to do it that way. But her interaction with the Ordo Moondragon. Her interaction with this thing, which I thought was an incredible animal, first of all, because like so similar to like the Purrgil with like the electricity like coursing through them. Like that was just a really cool effect.
It's similar to the Vexus too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. Anyway, but yeah, just her observing it and realizing literally the gears turning in her head so quickly, saying, "Oh my gosh, I know how to connect with this thing," in the sense of it just needs electricity. It's like she figures it out so quickly. So it's not just like with other like human beings or other sentient beings. She's also figuring it out from other just living creatures, what their needs are, essentially, which is an interesting talent. I still don't really think it's the Force. Like, I don't think that one makes sense, because we would see at some point accidental levitations or floating things around. I feel at this point, I think it's just she's just picking up the other abilities. Right.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're correct. Actually,
We've kind of seen it like with Crosshair too in the first episode when she shoots his blaster out of his hand. Right. And also like, I mean, not so much, but I was thinking like Tech, how she's been like playing on the little iPad thing or whatever and stuff like that. I don't know what she would take away from Echo necessarily, but
There's his
the
sass.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, speaking of Echo, like I always, in reference to Omega, I always go back to the Echo in 5 speech in season 3, where he's like, your training is in your blood. Same heart, same blood. Your training is in your blood, and my blood's boiling for a fight. And it's like that training and that like those skills are so like embedded genetically into the kids of the same age of Omega who are the normal clones. So like, why wouldn't she also have some of these skills? And if she's like an enhanced clone, then why wouldn't she be powerful or whatever? So to me, it makes sense that she could shoot and all that stuff, and especially if she has like this taskmaster-esque ability to like mimic other people's skills, and it makes sense that she's desirable. What's the prime clone to make more clones off of?
Subject?
No, what's the specimen? There you go.
Yeah, that's the word.
Specimen. One of them words.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought she was about to walk in that cave and force heal it or something like Ray did.
It would have been too similar to that scene.
No, I didn't
like that for a minute.
It just felt like the same scene, sort of. Or a similar scene.
It was if anything, I feel like it was more similar to Ezra connecting with the Fire Nox for the first time. The Shadow Wolf type creatures
right.
on an axis. I feel like it was most similar to that of it's like literally do or die. You need to connect with these creatures in order to figure out how to work with them. Which is kind of like what she did. She didn't necessarily connect with it, but she just observed and was like, oh, this guy likes electricity. Yeah. And then it's like, tossed it. Yeah, exactly. So it was a good sacrifice of the flashlight. Also,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I mean, sorry, not go ahead. I'm sorry. The whole similarities with the Empire Strikes Back. It rhymes. Empire Strikes Back in the cave. The whole Echo and Tech fixing underneath the ship, and the things are crawling all over the place, and it was
very Minoc.
Perfect. It was perfect.
Very Minoc-like, yeah.
Awesome. I loved it. Like, there's been so many. They're obviously doing it on purpose, putting in the little references to the other movies and to the other shows, and like. I don't think it's gonna ever get annoying. I love it when they're like paying homage. Omelette du fromage. Sorry, when they're paying homage to all of these other mediums within Star Wars, it's fantastic.
Oh,
yeah. I was gonna say it's called the Ordo Dragon.
Ordo
is a planet in Mandalorian space, right by Mandalore.
Yeah,
you may know the name Ordo from Knights of the Old Republic, I believe.
Canderous.
Yes.
Canderous.
Yeah.
Ordo. Mandalore? Question mark.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Next episode, Mandalore.
I doubt it. I mean, they're the heck out of there at this point. They don't know where. I wish I knew where they even thought they were going. Like, where do they think they're going?
We have no idea where they're really going.
Yeah, that's true.
We're flying blind now because we knew what the first 3 episodes were going to be because of like the leak and whatnot. But now episode 4 and so on, we don't really know what the heck's going to happen. So.
Well, we know like loose plot points, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for the Bad Batch and Crosshair to cross paths again. Like I don't want to rush it, obviously. And we know what's going to happen eventually and like let it build. But like, I just can't wait to see like that conversation in general. Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to see Crosshair redeemed?
Yes.
Like in season 1 right away, or do you want to see them build up to it?
So you guys go ahead.
I was gonna say I do. I just don't know how, where, or when. Like we're still so early into the season and the show in general that it's like what even is the next episode about?
Yeah.
If you asked me 2 episodes ago. Do you have any feelings of like, feelings for Crosshair just to like be like, oh, this guy is suffering? I would have said no. And then this episode, and now I'm like, crap. Yeah. I have thoughts that this guy should be redeemed now. Like
when he walks by the tally marks and stuff, and he kind of is looking around the room, and he's like, this isn't right.
The graffiti, so like Hunter's graffiti, it's like Wrecker's skull on the wall, all of all of Tech's equations, Echo's bed is still not there, obviously. And then nothing for like Wrecker, but like it's just seeing that he obviously misses them, and he knows that a piece of himself is really missing, and this crew isn't the same. And he's obviously questioning how he even feels like as himself, because he executed one of his own members at point blank range when he didn't follow orders. And now he's questioning, why the hell did I do that? Even though it's good soldiers follow orders, he still does have that question in his mind, which is interesting.
And I think we'll get to that, but like in reading that scene, I didn't take a lot of emotion off of his face. Like he stares at it, but it's like any feelings he is having are like so deep down that you can't even tell. Like having just watched it, especially he sets his sniper rifle down, he just sort of sits and he's like a robot now. Like I don't know. Like I think you're all that may be true, like thematically, but I don't know if he's having these thoughts. I think Crosshair's gonna be bad for a while before there's any hope of redemption.
Yeah, I do agree with that, though.
It's definitely building, but they do also mention, I can't remember who, it might have been Rampart and Tarkin, but they're like, let's just see how long they can keep doing this with his chip, or let's just see how long they can sustain Crosshair, you know? So I think that's kind of setting up for, he's going to start easing out of their experiments and the expanding on his chip and stuff.
I'll say in the beginning of the episode, because the first time you see Crosshair in this episode, he's under the knife again, if you would, and she's like, it's going well. You know, it's working. He's receptive to it, and Tarkin's like, all right, sounds good. And so now it's like, and then using him as the commander and using clones to train the elite squads, I think is the war mantle sort of deal, which is what Cody did in Legend. So maybe that's how Cody comes into play. Because Cody was sort of the Crosshair role, as to my recollection. He trained stormtroopers and whatnot. So how do we feel about the new squad, the elite squad?
They're cool, man.
I like them a lot.
They're cool. I mean, it was kind of crazy that guy got offed already, because it seemed like there was going to be some friction there, and maybe like
there was
a minute, and then I was like, oh, this might build up to something this season or something, and then Crosshair will deal with it then. But right away he shoots him, and it was like a cool moment, like you said. It got super dark real quick there on Onderon, with the flame trooper and.
Whoa.
I was kind of hoping it would have been too dark, but Crosshair gives the order to kill the partisans there, or whatever you want to call them, and it shows Crosshair's helmet, and I was kind of hoping it would show like the reflection of like the blaster fire or the. I was
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but it didn't show it. I'm like, that would have been too dark, probably.
You do hear it. Yeah.
You hear the bodies drop. It's like.
Not the old woman though. The old woman lives.
She lives. She made it out.
Oh yeah, she got away.
Old woman. Crosshair's gonna hunt her down.
Even Crosshair just sniping the guy as they were gonna take off in the ship.
Oh my god!
That wasn't Crosshair.
Right in
that was someone else. That was the guy.
Was it?
That was ESO1.
Oh, okay,
okay. Dude he killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I love how they already like gave them all designation numbers, obviously. So you would really only know that if you like had the subtitles on. But like I love how like that was already tossed in there. They each of the new recruits have actual designation numbers, and so they're starting with that so far. But like as dark as that scene was on Onderon, it's so morbid. I loved every second of it. Like I loved their entire execution of everything. So like the way that it starts with just like Crosshair sniping people and laying down the covering fire, and then they just rush in, and it was so fast paced, and it was so good, and it was like this is an actual war. This is incredible. And it was surprising at every turn as well, because we get the flame trooper and then the snipe through the window, which was very shocking and almost a little gory for like animation. And it's like, woo. So like
I really liked, what was the blonde guy's designation number?
ESO1.
ESO1. Yeah, at one point they were kind of talking, and he was like, hey, the Empire's giving me more than the Republic ever did, you know, so I thought that was pretty cool to see that perspective.
Yeah.
I love that upfrontness about it, which is the reason a lot of people do end up joining the Republic, is because they straight up can't afford to live on their planet without any sort of support. They know if they join this military, they'll be getting money and whatnot, which is an unfortunate truth with a lot of people in real life. Is it's like, oh, I'll join the military and then I can get money in return. But anyway, so like it's kind of crazy that like this is already happening so early in the system. They're like, oh, new government, sign me up. I'm definitely gonna help out. And it's crazy that I still can't get over this transition has happened so quickly.
Specifically with the elite squad, the people in that squad, I think the implication is that they were soldiers for the Republic, and that because one of them ESO4 is like the war is over, who's left to fight. So like they were fighting. I think they were part of like planetary defense forces and like the smaller like Republic military, because it wasn't the whole Clone Wars. It wasn't fought by just clones. Like you see that in the Clone Wars show. Like on individual planets, there's individual resistances and there's systems, and it's in Legends it was even more complicated, but because the clones are just sort of like the poster children of the war, so to speak, because there's only in my head canon there's a lot more clones, but like in canon there's only like a couple million, and a million to the ratio of like a quadrillion people in the galaxy or whatever. Not good. It doesn't make any sense. Like in real life there have been standing armies larger than the clone army in Star Wars, and the clones have to deal with the whole freaking galaxy. So the numbers there don't really work out when you're think about it that way. So, but I like the scene on Onderon for a different reason, because one of the partisans was voiced by Steven Stan, and you could hear Meeber Gascon's voice in there. You could hear memes. I heard memes. I was like, instantly, like
he always comes up.
Johnny will be very happy about that.
Yeah, where's Johnny?
He's on a road trip. He's in Chicago.
He's already on the road trip.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
When did we last talk? Like
2 days ago.
Yeah, 80 years
ago.
80, I am 100 years old. I hope we're doing this when we're 100.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Talk about Bad Batch season 8 or whatever. I don't know.
I'll be live on
Ryan's trilogy still won't be out.
At least season 8.
Yeah.
I want it.
Something like that.
Oh man.
Yeah, broadcasting live from Mexico on a medical arm.
You're on. Yeah, you're like.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. So that scene on Onderon was brutal.
It was.
Yeah,
that was up there in terms of like
brutal.
Animation, Star Wars animation brutality. So
right,
and I loved every minute of it.
A kids show, like as we move on, just like throughout the years, what they're really. I feel like they're like before it was like you can do anything on kids TV, like early 90s and stuff, and then it was like no, you got to play it safe. And now that we're moving to streaming and stuff, like I'm thinking HBO Max, Amazon Prime and stuff that's labeled as kids shows. I don't know what like the actual rating is. That's not PG-13, even below. I think every Star Wars thing is Star Wars PG-13 typically, or is it?
Well, so
the
Rebels
movies
was
are.
TV, Rebels was TV7. Clone Wars was like 12 or 14, and I imagine this is also 12 or 14.
I think this is 12 to 14 because keep in mind this is not Disney XD anymore. So
right, exactly. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. That my point being is that like we're really pushing the boundaries what they can do in a kid show. A kid show with quotation marks because it works for everyone. But
like I said, I don't remember. I can't remember where I was having this conversation. I've had so many conversations, but. We were talking about someone posed the question about like an R-rated Star Wars movie, and
it was the other day.
That was the other day in your
I think
stream.
Mike might have.
We were there.
I remember that. Yeah,
and we were all like,
I thought so. Who asked that question? I don't know.
Mike, I believe it was Mike.
Yeah. Oh, it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me. It's all right. It's like it's midterm, or not midterms. It's
a long week.
Midterms.
Yeah.
Kinda. I'm on a quarter system, so I don't.
Okay.
In June.
So R-rated Star Wars. R-rated Star Wars.
Like I think that within the confines of whatever these shows have been rated, you can do a lot more than we have thought. They just haven't done it because that isn't like necessarily what they're going for, and so it's not always there. But they've always had the room to do it. They just haven't. So when they actually do that stuff, they don't need to increase the rating. Like that's already within the purview of a 14 rating.
Right.
Like they just don't to make it more accessible. Like because in this episode, like you notice, like you see people without armor on just getting straight up shot. That's something you didn't usually see in like Rebels, for example. That was
right. Oh, never in Rebels. Yeah.
Oftentimes it was like off screen, or if it's stormtroopers wearing armor, then like you would see them like wriggling around on the ground because that's the whole thing in Rebels. Is like the stormtrooper armor absorbs the blast, so they're just like unconscious. It's the whole thing.
Right.
These people are just getting killed straight up on screen. Like they're just dying. So yeah, we're going deep in. And I think that goes further to the point, which is that I think this is the strongest start to any animated show that we've had so far, easily.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely, 100%.
I've seen a lot of chatter recently that episode 3 was slow, and like I kind of agree that like Omega slightly was, but like honestly, it's not. Like this show
not a bad
is
slow
moving.
Yeah. I just
it's only been like a week or so, mind you, within the story, but this show is cruising. Like, there's been so much that's happened so far, and like we've learned so much about these characters within these 3 episodes alone.
We have 13 more.
Yeah, and we're gonna have so much more. And like, I hope that they continue with the momentum. Like, if anything, I feel like it might have been slightly slow at a few points in the first episode because I feel like they could have like chopped it in half, but they made it a long episode just to be like, hey, here you go, premiere episode. It's really long. But like, that's the only point. I thought it was like any slow at any point. And like, it's just like, you guys are going to complain about the pacing. Like, no, like it's a really good story so far. And it's one of the best pieces of content, honestly, out of Star Wars stuff that we've gotten in the past few years.
Definitely, especially animated. Like, it's a very solid season opener. I think, anyways. In terms of season 1, first 3 episodes, I don't think Clone Wars or Rebels necessarily takes the cake.
Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah, we've gotten some pretty good stuff.
The end, like if you're kind of last couple years, I'll say I'll include Solo and the Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't
know.
Jedi. And Last Jedi would be in there too.
You'd include Last Jedi? Okay. Oh, if you're including Last Jedi.
That came out after Solo, right? No, that came out
before. Right, a few months before, yeah.
Regardless, though, I mean, like,
either way, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Bad Batch is good. I think
it's up there. It's really good.
Like it.
Yeah.
By season's end, we'll be like, damn, this is.
I don't disagree at all. I just like comparing it to like Siege of Mandalore and Mando season 2. I don't know. Like, I feel.
I think this time period is much more.
It's potent,
meaningful to me than the Siege of Mandalore, because I do not care about Mandalore itself. It's great, and the arc was amazing. It was the best Clone Wars arc. It was one of the best pieces of Star Wars content. It really was, with Ahsoka and Maul.
Jump out of that box and come catch you.
No, it's amazing. I love it, but Mandalore itself, I'm like, I don't. Mandalorian politics and the Mandalore. It's like,
I'm really into Mandalore stuff. I love Mandalore.
I'm not brave enough for politics.
Hey, that's fine. So like, but the Empire starting their reign and whatnot, and the clones, like that interests me just a lot more.
Yeah, I think by the end of the show, I will have changed my tune, simply because not only the volume of content we'll receive, but hopefully if they land, the story that's being told, then I think it'll probably be, surpass what we've seen from. Those 4 episodes of Clone Wars and Mando season 1 and 2. But we'll see. Just as of right now, like this is it's the strongest start to any show that we've had. I agree with that, but
yeah,
I think it certainly. I'll agree that it has the potential to be the best that we've seen. I'm really excited about it. Super excited.
I think it's off to one of the strongest starts of Star Wars media recently. Anyways, I'm thinking shows.
Those are the words that I said. Yeah.
I think.
Is that what you said verbatim there?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it had background to go off of. I guess that first Clone Wars arc with the Bad Batch, and also just the period it's in is like kind of a clean slate, but it has a beginning and an end. So I guess the Mandalorian does too, and it's I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but. To echo Levi's words here, it's the best start to a Star Wars animated show.
Now Jamie just needs to say it.
Make more of a point out of it. To tie it to Mando.
I already did. So I mean,
so we were all echoing Jamie.
She started it.
I did start this. I mean, so I gotta say first of all, thank you, Rural Farmer, for watching. So see you next time. He's gotta hop out. But
see you, Farm Boy.
In general though, I forget the point I was gonna say here. So okay.
It's a long day.
Hey. So I think I know what I was gonna say. So just I think something that Levi said triggered this thought in my mind. The timelines of things of being released affect the way that I feel about them, which is a very important thing, I feel. So like this has been a very, very strong start for me for the Bad Batch because the post Order 66 era, AJ knows this, and I'm pretty sure you guys know this by now as well, is my favorite era in all of Star Wars.
Dark Times, so it's a good one.
I am just ready to consume everything about this era, and I am just so excited, and I am like, crank it to 100 immediately. I am just gonna love it.
Inject it into your veins.
Inject it right into my veins. I need it. So like, but like, here's the thing. I haven't like looked into like legend stuff because I don't care to look into
so
Legend
good.
stuff.
Jamie, read Dark Times. It's so good.
We'll take a peek. We'll go to Wikipedia.
Send me links later. Send me links later.
Because that used to be my favorite era too.
So it has always been
I'll
recently because like we just straight up don't have enough about current canon of like knowing what's going on during that time. And
Vader
like
comic. Read it.
Yeah, so like it's
So
the
good.
Vader comic, Fallen Order, and a couple novels, and like that's it, right? So like that's what been why I've been so interested.
Just to clarify here, are you talking like first? What's your criteria here for right after? Like when I think about this era, it's like first few years. I don't count when you start getting past like 7 and 10, like solo era.
First few years, no.
I think that's too deep.
I'd say
when's Fallen Order?
Fallen Order is 5 years. So I'd say so that's like, once it hits solo, that's beyond it.
Can I interject real quick? Matt in the private chat says, "Let me in! Let me in!"
Oh well.
Oh.
Let him in.
Oh I'm sorry, Matt.
Matt.
I'm so sorry, Matt.
I've been here for like 10 minutes.
You were?
You should have texted me. You were so I have to scroll down in order to see you. So
AJ, why did you text me dog emoji?
I don't know. It was the first one I saw.
I was sitting here.
No.
Thank you, Dylan.
Circling. What's up, Matt?
How's it going?
Doing all right.
I guess to follow up, just to conclude my point here, I love the post Order 66 era. I would consider right after Order 66 up into before the events in Solo, or like the early years of the events in Solo. I would consider that era. But then also just in general, like our timeline in like real life. Where the hell did AJ go? I don't know, whatever. Our timeline in real life of like things getting released. There is no other Star Wars content coming out right now.
Okay, I see you.
It's AJ, but cool.
Super Bowl is.
There's no other Star Wars content coming out right now. So obviously we're going to just pour ourselves into whatever this is. With like when Mando season 1 came out, I had zero interest in it. Zero. Because I was all going for the sequel trilogy. Like I watched all of Mando season 1, but like I just wasn't engaged with it. And so like it just goes back to like that. The timeline of things of real life will always affect how you actually consume the thing. And that's that. Glad you're here, Matt.
How'd this come up?
Glad I'm here.
I'm not sure half the words
we're having a
tonight, so.
Championship apparel arms race.
An arms race?
No, to your point, which I rudely got up and put on a hat while you were going, so
it's all good. You had your headphones on for most of it. It's okay.
Yeah. This also is just like when I first like thought of the Bad Batch, I was like, oh, I didn't really care for that arc. I don't really care for these characters. But then I kind of really started to think like, whoa, we're gonna see an awesome perspective of this thing that's been so unexplored in standard movies and canon and stuff like that. So I'm right there with you. Like this is a really important time in the galaxy, in the timeline, and it's also I think gonna become one of my favorite parts of the galaxy.
Well, to connect what I think AJ was trying to say earlier about the between trilogy stuff is like that is for me like the most interesting. It's what's between the trilogies is what's the most interesting. So Mando between 6 and 7, that has become my new favorite era. Like the Cold War,
New Republic,
interwar, like that.
Hey, you and Matt,
good stuff.
Oh man,
good stuff. It used
to
be
the Cold War, New Republic era.
I want more of it.
Star Wars. My favorite.
More of it. So,
please,
but it used to be. It used to be post Order 66, and this is like what you should read is right now they're collecting. Marvel is collecting the old Legend stuff in like continuity. Like they're publishing it in like really easy to follow like timelines, and the one that's called The Empire, like the first 3 volumes it collects a run called Dark Times, which is about the Dark Times, which is like right after Order 66. And I think you'd love it because it's the best. It's the cool. I have to take this hat off. I can't hear anything, and it's the worst.
It's really hot in this shirt too. It was like 80 today.
Yeah, this hat's really kind of pissing me off.
Yeah.
So I think we won though.
Really
now that we've all asserted our dominance about our local sports teams,
sports ball.
Don't say that word ever on one of our streams. I will boot you the next time you say it. I'm not even kidding. That word just puts me off in the worst way. So now you know.
You're good.
Which word?
I'm not gonna say it again. I will temporarily ban you. I'm not even kidding.
Did he even say the word?
Oh,
I
he
think
did.
I did.
Oh, he did. He said the word.
Did you say sports ball?
Ah!
Yeah,
That's the word. All right, see you guys.
Put that in my notes.
What's wrong with that?
So Matt,
I don't really know. It's a trigger
now
word.
That you,
What have I entered into?
Now that you joined us,
mess.
Matt, please talk about your thoughts about the Bad Batch episode 3.
War crimes.
War
They're in.
You can't even.
Elliot.
Oh,
Elliot.
he's all washed out.
Oh,
There he is.
Elliot.
Oh,
Now,
This
Levi,
is
you
a
finally got
mess.
to see what Elliot looks like.
Yes,
Oh,
the thumbnail for the interview is like my
I
favorite.
can't believe
Elliot
it.
with the hat.
Oh, that's my favorite one too.
It's
Yeah,
so
I was
funny.
making it. And I was like, "This is
I'll send you the
like
link.
HoloNet Marauders logo is nice, but this needs something else."
The
And
Elliot.
why put a clickbaity arrow in when you can put?
Elliot with the
Uh,
real
The
so
Imperial
good.
hat.
Good.
He's too white. He's too white. He blends. There
Oh,
he
there
is.
he
There he is.
Yeah.
Ponytail Santa
White.
Claus.
State of the
I want
art.
to tag
State of the
Jordan's
art.
furniture in it.
So all in all,
It'd be so
Grand Moff
confused.
Elliot.
to get us back on track, all in all, I really liked this episode. I really liked the juxtaposition between innocent civilians being murdered and then right after getting like a really heartfelt, touching scene with Omega getting her room.
Do you think
Omega.
it's the strongest start to an animated Star Wars series?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Okay, good.
All right, well,
'Cause-
that's 5 of us now.
I mean,
We all
even Rebels, like Clone Wars and Rebels, they didn't get as like I don't want to say adult, but like they didn't get as hardcore like right off the bat. Like first couple episodes of Rebels, they're bonking stormtroopers on the head, you know,
They're
running
throwing
around and
fruit
stealing
around,
fruit.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is all about fruit. Always
and
has been.
then you know you have Crosshair like
Jordan.
mowing down civilians, which is also how the Force Awakens starts. So good.
So you
it's
don't
a
think that
patented way to start off.
the start to Resistance was the strongest start?
Okay, I started my
Second,
rewatch
yeah.
of Resistance.
You
today.
sent me a book about Resistance today.
Resistance is good. I like Resistance. I will always defend that position. I just rewatched the first 2 episodes today, and I was like, "Holy crap!" You know, I keep sleeping on this show.
OP Pit.
OP Pit, dude, he's there in the
So
first
we
episode.
should do
the best
we should do
character
a
arc.
group watch through and do a counter for how many times Kaz hits his head.
Or
It's
screams.
one.
It's
It's
like-
at least one every episode. I've counted
At
3
least.
so far.
Everyone's hitting their heads in Star Wars, man. What is
They
it?
really
Yeah.
are.
Everyone's a Jenko clone.
Ever since A New Hope, and they just
Punk. It's
Bobby's
it's the
doing it.
longest running gag in Star Wars. You just got to keep it in
Yeah,
there. That's
well,
what it is at this
My
Mine's
point.
coming
personal
up.
favorite, my personal favorite bonk is Rex in season 2 of Clone Wars in Cargo of Doom when they're walking through. Cad Bane's in there, and like there's that huge like pipe that he just doesn't see, and he just slams right into it.
Oh yeah.
bonk.
It's like,
Someone's
nice
gonna make a
bonk.
bonk compilation in Star
There,
Wars.
there probably is.
We have
Yeah.
Wrecker's bonk
Bonk.
from
You got it.
last week. We have
Yeah. D. Bradley Baker's "Ow!" It's so good.
Yeah.
Like slam.
I love Wrecker's like clueless look, like when someone says something to him and he's just like looking around and like his mouth is wide open.
Wrecker was crushing it this episode though. He was so
He
good
was
this
awesome.
episode.
And then yeah, giving her that room and
Yeah.
And his
the
headaches.
sort of character development there from the beginning when he's like, "Yeah, I'll take your food,"
Yeah,
and then Hunter's like, "This is a kid. Like you got to learn how to."
And he
like,
stopped in his tracks. He was like,
be kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
have it.
Right.
And then like you already know who's thinking like, "What can I do to like, like impress her?" Like
yeah.
Yeah.
They're more
Can I
like
eat
brother.
Gonki?
Can I
Yeah,
eat
definitely.
Gonki?
They definitely
Hey,
like,
luckily
yeah.
the creature didn't eat Gonki. That would have been a
I know.
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
Gonki is like a 5-course meal for that thing.
Holy
know.
crap!
He's all
Yeah.
energy.
That's what he
That's
really
so
wanted.
Wow.
True, yeah.
Gonki's all energy, man.
So
This
if I'm-
episode would have been a actual disaster, like reception wise, if Gonki was eaten. Let's
Can
be
you
real.
imagine if civilians were
Yeah.
killed and Gonki was eaten?
And Gonki
Yeah,
was
can't have it.
Oh,
The
That's
Empire
so
Strikes Back of Bad Batch.
yeah, yeah. That'd be tragic.
Yeah, no, that'd be too much. Too much.
Too much. Yeah, Dark Times is good though. Good era. Sad though. It's all just sad. That's the
I
thing.
know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think
It's all
Crosshair's
just
getting
evil
redeemed.
winning.
Yeah, this whole era is just like depressing. Like,
There's so
Right.
many more. I was thinking of it the other day. There's so many more sad moments in Star Wars than happy moments.
well, like,
like-
half of the saga is about a republic falling into an empire.
I
And then,
know.
like, this-
Yeah.
this-
Yeah.
Like whole
I mean,
trilogy.
it is a
about-
tragedy.
Star Wars, there's
Tragedy,
always gonna
yeah.
have to be some war, you know.
That's true.
so he's
Yeah.
And I mean, depending on who you ask, war ain't fun.
Nah, no.
War never changes.
Oh,
War.
War never changed.
What is it good
oh
for?
no.
That's the original.
nothing.
That's the original title of War and Peace.
The war never changes.
I love when we got three separate references there.
Well, the war never changes.
To Fallout to Seinfeld.
Well, the war never changes one is also
okay.
here.
I was just thinking, I was like, I'm gonna laugh, but I'm pretty sure that's from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But I didn't say anything just to risk.
No, you're good. We all knew.
Yeah.
Tolstoy.
Right.
War. What is it good for?
What's the deal with war?
Wow.
Oh no!
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
What are they fighting?
Jerry Seinfeld should make a Star Wars movie.
No.
Yeah. I think he's going to be in the Taika Waititi.
Okay,
the other day we were talking about getting other creative voices in Star Wars.
Yes,
I think
you were.
Seinfeld is a much needed voice.
He's next in line.
I want to. What's his name?
They can go to Dex's Diner.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Kramer.
shop.
Michael.
Oh my god.
Michael Richards.
Michael Richards.
Yeah.
I want Michael Richards is in Star Wars.
I want a Seinfeld in-universe like sitcom on the HoloNet. So it's literally the Seinfeld cast. Keep them in the same situations. Just give them funky costumes. Keep them in the same situation.
Who would George be? Who would George be?
Who would George be? Like
what race of being?
Like a Pong Krell type alien?
He would definitely be an alien. No, he wouldn't.
George
I picture Deveronian right off the bat. George is like a short Deveronian with horns.
A Toydarian, but
Toydarian.
George has a Toydarian though.
No, he gives me Celestine vibes, like Nine Nub.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Jerry is definitely like. What's that? What's the alien? Who's Flicks? The tall bird thing.
Oh,
tall bird.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who else would it be?
Jerry. I'm trying to visualize here.
Yeah. I gotta get an image of him
Let's
up.
see who.
Amanda Kramer.
Oh, no, he wouldn't be a Nautilus. Kramer would be like a Nautilus or something.
Kramer's a Wookiee.
Kramer could be like a monk.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't even know what that guy was.
And everything.
A Wookiee, but he actually could like speak English or speak basic. No.
Oh man.
Oh, George would be an Ordinian. George would definitely be an Ordinian.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's great.
Ordinian.
Yeah.
Sure. You ever been to a Minot roast?
Yeah,
Ordinian?
I like that. Yeah, he would 100% be an Ordinian.
Oh my gosh.
Open up a cantina somewhere. Not too hot, not too
freaking,
cold.
like when the episode of Seinfeld that's like a parody of when JFK is coming out and he's at the baseball game.
Yeah.
They're doing the Zapruder bit.
Yeah. Spit, yeah.
To the left.
A second spitter.
It's
God,
so funny.
It's weird.
Crying when I think of that.
Today is the 23rd. 23 years ago today was the finale of Seinfeld.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Kind of weird we're talking about, yeah.
And yesterday, the Phantom Menace became older than A New Hope was when a Phantom Menace came out.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
It took me a while to understand that. I read this.
Yeah,
I saw the image and I got it, but like just the caption, I was like, what does this mean? I was like, whoa. What a weird fact.
Wait a minute.
I feel like we tried to share that fact on our podcast one time, and like my brain simply does not compute math that well, and so I was trying to say it, and it was just god awful.
We totally flubbed, and it was like all of us
so bad.
Tried our hand at it. Where like one of us would fail, and then they go, "I got this," and then we'd start talking, and then immediately collapse, and then the next one would be like, "No, I got this."
I have like 5 minutes of us all just trying to like say this fact, and it just I don't even know if it made the cut.
I don't know.
So we have George as an Ardinian.
Yep.
Jerry as a bird.
I think we
can think of a better one.
Okay. Kramer as a Wookiee.
I think Kramer Wookiee's good casting.
I like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So then who's
Elaine? Jerry's a Rhodian for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got Rhodian vibes.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that too. Definitely.
Yeah.
Same outfit he wears in the show.
What is Elaine? I feel like Elaine is just a Twi'lek.
Yeah, I think like Elaine would be like either a Twi'lek or a human. She's just
human,
normal.
Yeah.
She's just like, why are all my friends so weird?
Yeah.
Newman.
Oh, boy.
Newman.
Oh.
Gamorrean.
Yeah.
All right, I can see that.
Newman's a hut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that too, but like it's not practical.
No, because he still needs to be a mailman, right?
That's not canon.
He needs to deliver the mail.
FDR is the hut.
Here we go talking about the mail again, like on like a Star Wars podcast, talking about what's a mail delivery.
Wag my tail. Nail.
Nail. That's Blue's
Is that a
Clues.
nail song from Blue's Clues?
Yeah,
the
dude.
deal with Palpatine.
Dang, you're
Bring
taking
back
me
the
way
deep.
deep.
What's the deal
that.
with Lexical?
Okay, we're getting really off track, guys. Is there anything else we want to talk about the Bad Batch tonight before we wrap up? Because I'm sorry, we need to wrap up after
Who's
this.
the baddest of the batch? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Echo for sure. He's bad, dude.
He's bad.
Yeah, he's seeing scratches on the ship. He's like scanning around and hearing noises, and he's like, "Let me just go out with my one arm in this blaster, real quick, and take care of whatever's trying to kill us."
And
I'm
not
like,
even
"What
a
are you doing,
blaster,
dude."
flashlight in one arm.
Yeah. I
What are
can't
you
wait till he gets
doing?
those other arms, like in the hot
Oh,
tub. He's got like
yeah.
the pulverizer.
He needs
and
that
then
spaghetti arm.
I like to think that Tech just like makes him a hand. And he's like, you've probably
Definitely.
been needing this
Tech-
for a while.
Tech
And
had
that's why
another good
Techo is
line.
real.
What Tech line?
Techo.
Techo.
Tech had a good line, and I'm forgetting it.
It was so good.
Was it about the chips?
I think that it would lead towards that
No.
actually. Tech eventually making Echo a hand, because the whole thing right now is Hunter is like, "Oh, fix the ship," and Echo's like, "I would, but I got a really long list of stuff to do." And then Tech's just like, "Oh, I'm working on this." And so Tech probably will come to his own realization and be like, "Oh my gosh, I actually need to help people, not just be stuck in my own head the entire time." Which I think that he will. That's Tech's biggest like future learning curve, is actually getting out of his own head and actually helping people by relating to them, not just saying, "Oh, that you didn't know about that? Palpatine is the Sith Lord. You didn't know that?" That's my favorite. That's my favorite meme right now.
Shelby sent us that meme, and I wish I had responded in time to be like laugh at it, because now it's like too late. But holy crap, was that meme like the best meme I've ever seen? Have you guys seen that?
Oh,
where
everywhere.
it's Tech and Obi-Wan in the Tantive 4, and they're walking down the hall, and Obi-Wan's like, "Why didn't you tell us Palpatine was a Sith Lord?" And he goes, "Did I have to tell you? I thought it was obvious." The same kind of thing.
Yeah,
About
I
the
mentioned
ship.
that in the AllNewNerds group chat earlier.
Oh, that's so
I just love
good.
that Tech just always says stuff in hindsight, or at the worst times he gives them the information they need.
What Jamie was talking about was what I was thinking of. It wasn't a line, but it was a good Tech moment where literally Echo looks at the ship and is like, "There are scratches," and he looks at him and goes, "Oh yeah, those weren't there before. It must be these moon dragons. They're trying to eat our electrical supplies." But he's like so chill about it, like he doesn't care.
Yeah,
that's like textbook. Like really chill. Smart person though, they'll be stuck on one task and they won't freaking recognize common sense. They just won't.
I wouldn't know.
It just happens. That's just how it goes sometimes with someone who is that intellectually smart. They just don't have common sense. And so I like how they have characterized that in so far.
I think Wrecker got his big moment in this episode. I think each member of the Bad Batch is going to have their episode to get like some real like hard character development. And I'm waiting for Tech, because I think Tech is my favorite of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I want to see them all be Dad Batch too. Like all get their time with Omega and like learn.
Exactly.
And, like, oh yeah.
I think it's like
I
think Hunter is main Dad Batch. I think the rest are like brothers.
Oh yeah. Right. Wrecker had some Dad Batch.
I mean they all actually are siblings. So Wrecker in this episode was definitely like an older brother.
Yeah.
So. It's literally what he is. So
in the episode, they talked about the Django genome kind of being stretched and split, but they didn't, because they were talking about like if this experiment works Nala say. So does that mean that Omega is a clone of Django Fett?
No, yeah, I think it's been confirmed at this point that is this a situation where we as fans are like putting more into it than it is? It's literally a Tech moment, because like so many times in the show they've said she's a clone. Moment. Well, like I think
she's a clone of Django Fett. I thought it was obvious.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think we as fans are like, but a clone of who? Like I think the implication is obviously Django Fett. Like she's a clone. They're saying she's also a clone. Okay. She's but somebody who like, it's just funny that like I think she's just a Django clone. I mean,
who brought up the other day that when Tech is like going over Omega, he's like origins unknown.
Origins unknown, yeah.
So that because I was with you like 100% on the Django Fett clone thing until somebody brought that up, and I was like, why would
that's
they say
the first
that?
time they meet though. That's the first time they meet, and then later, he's like, she's a clone. I figured it out.
Oh yeah.
And they're like,
you're right.
They're like, when did you want to tell us that? And he was like, it was obvious. Yeah. So I think when he says that, I think it's
so that's her mutation, huh? She's a girl.
Oh, no. There's definitely a lot more information that Tech knows, and definitely a lot more information that Omega knows that like Omega's just not gonna like give, because like kids just don't give information unless you ask them a bunch of questions, and then their floodgates open.
She said a lot of that too.
Yeah, so like
with
she'll just like randomly like say a few things like regarding like the chip, and they're just like.
Maybe that's what she's picking up from Tech.
Yeah, kind of.
I wonder if they made this is kind of like weird and off topic, but I wonder if they made Omega as like a way to continue the genome.
No, I think that's exactly what it is.
She can reproduce.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why the Kaminoans let her go too. So they're like, yeah, become this ultimate super clone that like adapts with all these the Bad Batch, which is like the top of the line clones, each in their own specific field. Then we're gonna get you back.
I'm thinking more in lines of like I said, she can reproduce, where she could make like an actual viable person that could then be genomed again.
Right.
So they don't have to do anything, but they can just be like, oh, eventually we'll go find whatever her offspring is and bring him back.
Yeah,
right?
I think
that's
one before.
a stretch. But also that's exactly Palpatine's plan from the Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
don't
really.
want to connect those two.
Well, not really. If we want to go on that, Palpatine's plans are always literally like whatever best suits him in the moment.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like
Daddy Ray was trying to get out, and he was like, "Go ahead, let him see if he makes some babies, and we'll check him out." Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
but
keep Ochi's blind eyes.
He would have put himself in Kylo if Kylo had succeeded.
Like, yeah.
And then he was like, "You're just no one from Jakku." Like he didn't give a crap when he was talking to Rey. Nope. And he was like, and then he was like, the power of two restores the power of the one true emperor. This was my plan the whole time. It's like, shut up, dude.
He's pulling it off.
Power, you don't care. But no, in terms of the Kaminoans plans, I think it's a lot shorter term than like the offspring plan because, like, I watched it before the stream started, and they want to bring the Bad Batch back, and then Lama Su counters with, well, we only need the one in particular. They don't say specifically which one, but I think the implication there is Omega. I think something with Omega's DNA is viable to create a new breed of more powerful clones. Because that's their like new phase is they need to make a clone that's more powerful than everything they got. They need to turn these desirable genetic mutations into something that they can make a whole army out of to stay relevant, to keep their contracts.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously something's gonna go wrong there.
And we know that fails. So
yeah, interesting. I was just thinking if Omega's thing is that she adapts or like takes different skills, do you think she also takes flaws or like other attributes than just that one specific thing?
I'd like to think so. Indeed, because because sometimes you pick up a subconscious ability from someone else or a habit that you wouldn't necessarily like know about. That's why it's subconscious, obviously. So like I feel like that will happen is she'll be picking up other people's abilities, and it might be something that like they don't necessarily like about themselves or that they're proud of, but they're doing it anyway just because it's their daily habits. And so like I think that she will probably be picking up like extra abilities that aren't necessarily favorable, but she's just picking them up because that's just what she does. She just observes and she just absorbs.
Yeah.
Observes and absorbs. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see it.
She's a sponge.
Because she's so perfect, she doesn't pick up like she takes stuff.
I'm still hanging on to the force sensitivity angle. I know that's a sore spot with Jamie, but I'm still kind of hanging on to that. But we'll see.
I think it's always a possibility in the cards. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say it's a possibility, but like I don't think it's the number one possibility though, because I feel like it's too early in the game for them to have a perfect force sensitive clone right off the line. I think it's too early in the game.
In terms of that, canonicity of that, I don't think she's force sensitive, and I think actually now more than ever, knowing that the Kaminoans' plan is to make more of the Bad Batch essentially, like as a mainline thing. I think that's just the relevancy of her existence. Oh, and also we haven't actually talked about this. So now that we have like 3 different factions sort of going on with the Kaminoans, the Empire, and the Bad Batch, I think the Kaminoans are going to hire Fennec and like other bounty hunters to hunt.
I forgot
Omega,
about Fennec.
Whereas we're going to have like Crosshair and crew hunting down the Bad Batch proper, just trying to kill them. And so it's like different. You know, you got like the different factions.
Yeah. They have worked with the random bounty hunters in the past, obviously, in the training of like Domino Squad and whatnot. So
and with Jango Fett,
my boy Brick, and Ellis,
Jango, right? Yeah. I always forget their names. Nice.
Speaking of
that whole arc.
Speaking of factions, did you guys already talk about how it's possible that Crosshair's squad could become Task Force 99? possibly, maybe.
We did not. Not yet.
I thought about that today.
Explain.
Now that they're well, do you know who Task Force 99? They're in the Huh?
I think it's too old. I think if anything, the only connection that we could get with them is I think that one woman could be Jyn Erso's mom, or not Jyn Erso. Sorry, Iden Versio's mom.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see that. People have been talking about that, but I don't see that.
It works with Clone Force 99, and if they're supposed to be the replacements or like the other, sort of like the contrast, like I feel like Task Force 99 would be kind of cool too.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're too old.
Task Force 99 appears in the Marvel Star Wars comics. And they're hunting down Luke right between Empire and Empire. Sorry, right between A New Hope and Empire.
Empire, yeah.
What's the guy's name? Who's the main
20
guy?
years from now. Sergeant Creel.
Sergeant Creel. Yeah, he's like he's like a stormtrooper with a lightsaber, and they named themselves Task Force 99 after Clone Force 99. And back then it was just like a stupid little reference. But now that
deleted episodes,
now that Clone Force 99 is like such a big deal in canon, I'm wondering if they're going to try to make that connection. And I know they're probably too old to be the same people, but I'm thinking in terms of just the same entity, like creating like Rogue Squadron, but it's not the same people in Rogue Squadron all the time. It's different people, so it could be Task Force 99 kind of evolves over the years, and this is like the precursor. I just think that would be a cool way. Everybody's all like up in arms about how they treated the comics with Kanan and all that. I think that would be a cool way to like tie back into the comics and say like, look, we do care about the canon comics.
Is Task Force 99 canon?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I never knew that.
I think that it's from. We haven't seen them since. I think like issue 50. It was the second to last.
Storms. Yeah. So it wasn't Storms of Crate. I remember them in that.
Yeah, they weren't.
I remember reading about them, thinking they were legends, and that they based Clone Force 99 off of them. But that's cool. I didn't realize they were actually.
I saw them on the Mercana arc where Luke, Han, and Leia get trapped on this planet with like they're kind of like Mandalorian people. And
they have their own clan and everything.
And Task Force 99 comes and hunts them down, and they get left there. And then from there, you go to. I think Scourge's Return, and then the finale. Anyway, regardless, I think that this Elite Squad is personally, I just think it's more indicative of the whole shift from clones to Empire or clones to like recruits. But a lot of people have been talking about that it could be like the origins of the Death Trooper program. People are always like, Crosshair's armor sure looks like Death Troopers, and talking to people like, I like this genetic modification stuff. Let's keep this, let's keep this gravy train going. Let's make some humans and. And even ESO1, the guy who gets shot, like when they're in the medical bays, like I didn't sign up to be a soldier to get tested and like prodded and stuff. So they're already doing tests on these people on Kamino. So like maybe they're the first Death Troopers.
When do we actually see the first Death Troopers, like in canon?
The earliest appearance I think we have is the Rebels.
Okay. Do they show up in the Vader comics at all?
They show up in the recent Vader comic.
The newer ones,
the original trilogy. So
okay, so Rebels time. So that gives us at least like 15 or 20 years or so of not seeing any Death Troopers. So I mean, like I feel like it'd be like very early if they want to be like, oh, these guys are definitely going to be like, this is the early Death Trooper program.
I'm really trying to think. It could be in like Rebel Rising.
Okay, so maybe like 15 or so years, right? So not everything, because that's like. I don't know, like 5 or so years before Rogue One.
They can always retcon and rework too. Like if that's the direction they want to go,
there's nothing. This wouldn't be a retcon. There's nothing contradicting.
Right.
Yeah. We don't know when the program begins.
Yeah.
So.
Well, someone was reading to me a Wikipedia article that I'm pretty sure it's from the Rogue One Visual Dictionary that Palpatine wanted to capitalize on rumors that the Empire has like these unkillable soldiers, like zombie soldiers essentially. That like there were rumors in the outer rim, like. Crazy stuff, and so he was like, "Sure, make it real," and they make the Death Trooper program. And I don't know,
they're pretty killable in Rebels.
There's no time.
Yeah.
There's no, but they're still there. But they are genetically modified and like worked on. They're like Spartans in Halo.
Yes.
We don't. So we don't know when the program starts. I think the earliest canon appearance in my head right now is in Rebels. But I could be wrong.
It definitely is. I can't remember anywhere else.
Okay. So I think that the possibility is there that Crosshair's little squad could be an early version of this Death Trooper program, but
that'd be cool.
I wouldn't count on it. It'd be cool though if they're somehow like drawn from his trainings and whatnot. But yeah, that'd be interesting.
End of the book. I'm going to Wikipedia.
Oh yeah,
sorry,
we should have just done that from the first part.
Oh, here we go. This was easy. Death Troopers were named by Emperor Palpatine himself. Yeah, the thing I said. Sometime between
Death Trooper.
Well, that's not true.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
Oops.
Well, it says which ultimately is this Undead Trooper? What is this? Is this? Oh, this is Legends. Why is there Legends? This is big oops. I don't know what's going on.
I love your guys' background, by the way, on the StreamYard.
Oh, thank you.
Jamie made that.
Can you identify what it actually is? It's something from Star Wars.
Yeah, it was looking familiar.
What am I guessing? What's going on? I'll come back.
The background. The background.
I'm not gonna get this one, but Levi probably will. Does it have something?
Hold on, I need to go deep into this.
Is it the colors or like the thing exactly?
It's
like
both. The pattern and the colors.
Yeah, I think the earliest thing we have, they were mentioned in Rebel Rising, and Rebel Rising takes place upwards of but it takes place over a long time.
Ow.
I'm reading the same stuff you are, Levi, on the Death Trooper thing. It's weird, right? It's talking about like undead troopers.
Yeah, like that was
that Rednam book, right?
Apparently, they appear in Dr. Aphra 18, which I don't remember.
Yeah, but Dr. Aphra 18 is in, after an OT time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
this is regardless.
So we're still at Rebel Rising.
Rebel Rising. Okay, well, I want to look at this background now.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I like the squint.
The videos aren't really hiding anything. The main pattern is still there, so they're not hiding anything.
Does the circle have anything to do with it?
No. So
okay.
The logo, our logo in the corner, doesn't have anything to do with it. And obviously, AllNewNerds Marauders does not have anything to do with it.
Okay, yeah.
I want to say it's like a map. Like no.
To reiterate, the bottom corner with the orange and black, nothing to do with it, or
just our Sidon Ithana with the little like swoopies around it. That doesn't have anything to do with it, but everything else does.
The rest.
Well, if it worked for that orange and black corner, it gives me like Sorgan vibes from Mandalorian.
Sorgan.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Super specific, just like the earthy tones.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, yeah, I can't even start to begin like what it would be.
I don't even think Matt knows the answer to this.
I don't know the answer. I thought I was gonna guess the Leia poster
Marauders,
from Bloodline, but
Marauders has to do with it.
Oh,
yeah, Marauders has to do with it.
Blood cover of Bloodline. Yeah.
It goes with our theme of being Marauders.
Well, it's a very deep cut of a reference. I wouldn't really expect you guys to really know about it, but
if it has anything to do with a book or a comic or something, I won't know.
It has to do with a costume, honestly.
Costume?
Okay. Yeah. So.
From a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the orange, like.
And it's not Star Wars?
Oh, it's Star Wars.
It is Star Wars.
Oh, it's Star Wars.
It's a Star Wars movie. Okay. I think I know.
And they're Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might know a thing or two. Sequel? Question mark? Is that?
Well, I can't reveal any information from there. Just that it's a movie.
Got it.
What?
Even though I gave the answer.
What's a movie?
Did you? I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
It's gotta be either Tron.
What's a movie? Who just said what's a movie?
It's gotta be either The Rise of Skywalker or Force Awakens, right? Because of
Is it the paint on the Maison Martinet? No.
No, that's yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow.
This is yellow.
No, well, it's like grayish black and yellow, the Maison Martinet.
Okay.
Which isn't French, but Maison Martinet.
Martinet.
Who is his name is escaping me. Who is his like peg leg pal?
Quiggold.
Quiggold.
Oh, Quiggold. Yeah.
Is it Quiggold related?
Nah, it has nothing to do with Sidon Ithana.
Okay, AJ's throwing me off with this.
It really
this has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. Sidon Ithana might be a pirate and a marauder, but we're talking about a different marauder. If you look closely, see her front tabards, like that. Wow, so like if you deep. Like kind of like turn it like sideways with the little orange like swipe,
cool.
I thought that the design looked like really, really cool. So this is a product of I've been looking at this way too often because I do want to cosplay her eventually. So
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, so I put that together one day, and I was
the
like,
helmet in the corner.
This is fantastic. Yeah, the helmet's
Unfinished.
right out of reach. I'm not gonna look at it.
I wish that was in the movie. Where
so
hands off the.
I love their theme.
I
guess. Cool.
Yeah. That's the behind the scenes of that. So like our brand is a combination of Sidon Ithana with like the pirate helmet, but then like Emphas Nest's Cloud Riders Marauders gang, and then Jar Jar Mask Matt. So,
right.
It's a combo of all three, who I guess is a pirate in his own right.
Yeah, I would have guessed like Hondo. That was my next guess.
That was
like, pirate. Yeah.
I thought it. Yeah.
We'll have to figure out a way to work him in the graphics somehow. Because he is the pirate of all pirates.
Just have his head like poking down in the
corner.
Hello,
my friends.
Hello, my friend.
Yeah. Always seeing your guys' stuff. It's making me more and more want to like consider cosplay stuff. It just looks so fun.
Yeah,
like going to conventions and like.
It is fun. It's fun. It's a dangerous hobby. Before we spiral deeper into this, any last thoughts on the Bad Batch? Because I would like to actually wrap up our little stream for tonight at least.
What's your favorite episode?
For the Bad Batch so far?
Mine's
cut and run.
So, I'm still saying episode 2, cut and run. Even though this one was really good.
I like the first one a lot. That's probably my favorite one.
And thanks for watching
too.
And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, Levi and Dylan from AllNewNerds, and the rest of us are hauling up Marauders, and yeah, that's where you can find all of us. That's
Nailed it.
Goodbye.